Hello and welcome to another edition of Workforce Water Cooler. Joining me as always, we have John and Brian. My name's Leslie, and we all work for the South Central Workforce Development Board. And today we are talking about a survey, a very important one that's going out. John, what is this and why is it so important that employers take this survey?
All right, thank you, Leslie. Yeah, so we've, this has been something that we've been working on for a little bit now. We have put together a wage and fringe survey. This is something we haven't done since early 2018, so it's been about 4 years ago that we did one. And, really closely related to this, we've been working very judiciously all fall and through the winter on this workforce participation issue. And the challenges with workforce participation have caused a lot of our employers to really raise or adjust their wage and fringe that they're offering folks to the point, and we've talked to numerous employers that are doing this, but admit they're not really quite certain where they stand in the marketplace, compared to their peers. They just know in their world, they're having a hard time getting folks onto their team, and they're trying to incentivize people to join the team by raising wages and changing fringe. So we are conducting a wage and fringe survey. The major difference between this one and what we did 4 years ago. 4 years ago was wage, fringe, and job openings. It was a very, very thorough survey 4 years ago that took well over 2 hours to complete.
Dang.
Yeah, it was, and we didn't get, and honestly, we didn't get a tremendous number of responses. I think there were about 200 employers that responded across the 10-county region. So
if you got 200 responses for a 2-hour survey, I think that's pretty good, because I don't know if I would complete a 2-hour survey. I'm just straight up. Yeah. How long is this one?
This is a 15-minute survey, and we're really keying in on wage and fringe and just what's going on in that realm, because we think that would be very useful information for employers to want. And the other major change, we said let's focus in on wage and fringe. Let's try to keep this to 15 minutes and get right down to brass tacks. But let's run this survey. We want to get as many employers as possible. I've set a goal 500 this go around, and I say this go around because I'd like to run this survey about once every 4 months this year. So run it in January, run it again in May, run it again in September. And then we get 3 snapshots in time across the 10-county region. And I think that would give us a really good understanding of what's going on in each of our industry sectors in terms of, how that needle is moving in terms of wage and fringe. So that's our big goal.
So Brian, is this survey going to say, okay, the average wage here is this amount, or what exactly are we talking when we're talking about wage and fringe?
Yeah, we don't think that we can ask that question without it bogging people down and them having to kind of reference a whole lot of, sheets and job descriptions and things. And because some of these positions don't all have just a starting salary, and they'll pay more based on experience, obviously, because it's open, we should say, to any and all industries. So I was pitching this to a lot of chambers of commerce folks last week and saying, probably if you're self-employed, it won't be very beneficial because it's asking a lot of questions about others. But if you've got, just a couple of employees, go ahead, because we're not limiting it to just, big, massive companies. We want to hear what is being offered and what's being thought about. So as far as dollar figures, there's not a lot of questions that ask about dollar figures. What we're asking more is increases. Are you expecting an increase? Did you have an increase last year? Will you do an increase this year? Will you start having more employees from certain, backgrounds or situations? Are you seeing more trends? Are you more apt to hire people that, let's say, just have a high school diploma and no experience? Are you using your staffing your temp agencies to find a lot of recruits, or are you using social media? So these are the types of things. It gets a little bit at recruitment. It gets a lot at benefits, because we know with all of the banners and marquee signs showing hourly wages, there's a lot more that goes into being an employee and the benefits of working at companies. So we're really trying to get that out of the companies to put that on paper and try to comparatively show. And there's going to be some things that just don't apply. So, I mean, it's taking, a range of 10 to 15 minutes or so for employers to fill this out. And we would encourage people that do have knowledge of these things and these benefits thoroughly. So HR, human resource professionals are going to make the most sense. But if anybody's seeing this that can't be authorized to answer it on behalf of your company, if you could please get it, this forwarded or the video, we're going to give the details about how to access the link. But we really do want anybody and everybody to fill this out.
And why is it so important that we have this information? Our goal is to get 500 responses from employers in our 10-county region. In one sentence, why is it so important that they do this?
I don't know if I can answer this in one sentence, but we do have access to job data. We do, but that job data we have access to, it lags, and what it really can't get into is the fringe part of things, right? It can kind of have an idea of what entry level and mid-level wages are, but fringe, all those other aspects of compensation, vacation days, sick days, 401k, healthcare, that is, it cannot like measure that. And so we're trying to kind of wrap our arms around what does that look like in South Central Kentucky. And, for an employer, I think you're going to want to know what are in your industry, what are your competitors doing? I mean, they won't be named in the survey, but if you can see that, hey, 78% of the folks in your industry are offering this and you're not, now you know where you stand, or vice versa. It might give you an idea. Maybe you're offering way more than everybody else. Maybe you're offering way less. So we want to give employers a sense of kind of where they stand in terms of wage and fringe and recruitment efforts compared to other folks in their industry, but you can also look at industries that are, side by side. So if you're in manufacturing, it's going to be helpful to know, well, what are they doing in construction? What are they doing in transportation, distribution, logistics? Because we're all competing for the same workforce, and we need to know who's offering what. And so that's not one sentence. That's like a long run-on paragraph.
I'm trying to do it in one sentence, Leslie.
All right, Brian.
We're not doing it for us. We're doing it for you. That's why you should complete it.
Very good.
What I'll add, though, in addition to all the things John just said, and he's right, we compete with people from other industries, no matter what industry that we're in, because people are just, since the pandemic, looking for more career changes. And what that means is usually an industry or a sector change. If I was out and about a lot, I'm going to want to be stationary. If I was stationary and I have an opportunity to be, hybrid, then I might look for those kind of jobs, and it may pull me in a direction that I haven't got a lot of experience in. But we're asking questions about these certain types of individuals that are being hired by companies, because we have staff, we have full-fledged programming as a workforce board, and working with our partners that aims to connect people from these audiences and in these situations to jobs. And so if we're seeing employers that emerge that are, let's say, more justice friendly recently, and they're indicating they're hiring more people with background, kind of criminal backgrounds or justice involved backgrounds, and we didn't already know that, we want to know that, because now you're going to be on the radar for that population that we work with. So info is going to be good, but also we might be able to help with some of the, connecting to the recruitment sources.
And one of the things, going back to the summit, one of the things that really resonated with me as far as the feedback that we got was the idea of company culture. And we saw over and over that it was things like benefits, the perks that employers offer. Those things really resonate with job seekers. That makes them not only want to work for that company, but stay for that company. And, that was my biggest takeaway from the summit. And I think in sending out this kind of survey, we're going to see okay, what kinds of things are being offered? And again, as John mentioned, this is confidential. So, we won't know exactly who is saying what, but when we look at all the data, it'll be incredibly beneficial to say these are the kinds of things that are being offered. And there may be things that aren't currently on our radar, but just like Brian said, that we can actually help with as far as perks or, matching up potential employees to an employer.
Yeah. So, I'm already excited about this as this first round of data comes in. Leslie, I already know Leslie's going to do a great job of preparing that visually, and we'll provide that. That's going to be provided back out to all of our employer partners, our chamber partners, the community at large. And again, we're going to do this. We're going to do this 3 times this year to really get a good sense of it. So, hopefully, if you're watching and you're an employer, please participate. Again, as Brian said, we're doing this for you. We're doing it for us as well. But we really want to understand what's going on in the marketplace, share that information with you so that we can kind of strengthen how we're all doing business and how we're trying to recruit and attract talent and get folks back to work.
And I'd like to say this is not about trying to get people to reveal any sort of secret strategies they have, but the bigger purpose is how can we as a region get more people back to work? That's the big thing that we're looking for. How can we get more people back to the workforce and keep them in the workforce? Times are crazy. So whatever we can do to get more information, to find out what's working, what might be working, I think it's extremely important. And I would say this first round, it's especially critical that we get a big volume of responses.
Yeah, it'll set a foundation for us. It really will. All right, 15 minutes is worth your time and effort.
Yeah.
Please complete the survey.
And it's something that we're doing through SurveyMonkey, so it's mobile friendly. You can do it on your cell phone, no problem. Do it while you're drinking your cup of coffee. But the end result will be something that can benefit all of us. Absolutely.
And Leslie, I don't think I would have filled out a 2-hour survey unless you gave me a better discount at my timeshare or something. I would have had to, it's pretty lofty. So, but I reached out to some chambers of commerce last week, and several of them, each community kind of wants to know. And so we will be able to break this down, we believe, by zip code and county territory, but some of them even commented, some of ours have gotten pretty laborious in the past, and we need to try to tweak it. So hopefully, coming kind of light and easy to hardworking HR folks, this will be a welcome news and valuable information without bogging them down.
Exactly. And no timeshares are involved in this.
No, not unless the Whitty, of the Whitty estate has a contribution that you want to. Yeah, we'll talk about that outside.
All right. Well, thanks as always, employers. We need you to complete the survey. If you go to our website, southcentralworkforce.com, and click the For Employers tab, it's right there. It'll take you 15 minutes, and you will have our adoration forever in completing this survey. Again, thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.
Bye.